The Flash.
Sorry I'm late. Just woke up 2 minutes ago.
The Flash, the fastest man alive, one of the most well-known and powerful of DC heroes, and that's for a very good reason. You see, the Flash is fast, like, really fast. He might actually be the fastest character in fiction. Put him in a race against a character, any character, and there's a 99.9% chance he'll win. The Flash isn't just fast, he's the embodiment of all kinetic energy and motion, controlling the concept of physics almost better than anyone else.
Did you forget that I'm here?
I said almost. You've read the title, you're probably preparing to comment your favorite obscure light novel character or protagonist, but don't bother. They've already been blitzed.
Because I'm the Flash, the fastest man alive.
Let's make things clear. The Flash isn't a person, but a title passed down from many speedsters over the ages. Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, Wally West, Wolfgang Schleiber. Each of these characters get their powers from the same place. The Speed Force, an extra-dimensional energy force that spans across the entire DC multiverse and is a reserve of infinite energy. It's not just a source of Flash's abilities, but a source of all motion and kinetic energy in the multiverse. On average, a Flash with good control for the Speed Force is massively hypersonic, but on rarer occasions, the Flash can outright move at light speed, with them using this ability to pull off the most insane of feats. Each Flash uses the Speed Force to varying degrees of proficiency, with Jay Garrick being considered one of the slowest, but still fast enough to blitz almost all of the JoJo universe. Barry Allen may not have been the first Flash, but he was the first to use it to an incredibly creative degree. Barry has precise control over the atoms and molecules in his body, allowing him to achieve feats like becoming intangible by vibrating through objects. But this doesn't just apply to his body, but other objects as well. He can manipulate his body's kinetic energy to heal injuries faster than a normal human, leveraging his metabolism and the energy of the Speed Force to regenerate tissue. On top of that, Barry can lend or steal speed from objects or individuals, which involves altering their kinetic energy, a nod to the real-world physical principle of energy transfer. His mastery over friction is another significant power. He can run across or up vertical surfaces by maintaining his speed and force to counteract gravity. Even his ability to throw lightning, an application of the electrical charge he generates while running, ties into his manipulation of electromagnetic fields. He is one of, or if not, the most intelligent of all the Flashes, using his knowledge of science to do things nobody could have ever thought of.
When I vibrate my molecules, I create an energy field that allows me to pass through solid objects.
Barry is said to think at the speed of light, allowing him to perceive everything in slow motion, but this also applies to other functions of the brain. For example, he can learn new skills that will take years to master in less than 1 second, or he can get full nights of sleep in milliseconds. Imagine putting Barry in an isekai. Literally, any isekai that's a skill-based system. Barry can read, utilize, optimize all the most crucial and important skills and stats and hidden stats in literal seconds. Everything Naofumi, Rimuru, Sunjin-Woo, the spider developed over the course of months to years, Flash has already achieved before they even blinked. Everything I brought up also applies to Barry's greatest nemesis. The Reverse Flash is the biggest hater in fiction, capable of everything Barry can do, but to a more cruel and unhinged degree. He would make most fictional characters' lives living nightmares just because he felt like it. Imagine Rimuru killing 20,000 of those soldiers to revive his people, only for Reverse Flash to come in and unalive them right before they open their eyes. Oh, Accelerator has an impenetrable barrier. Well, how about I go back in time and solo Accelerator as a baby? He could, if he wanted to. But wait, time. Of course, the one thing Flash abuses more than you have loving parents. The Flash can travel through time, literally any time he wants. The past, the future, all in his grasp. Oftentimes, Barry will use it to fix a mistake, but this sometimes comes with immense consequences. In Flashpoint Paradox, Barry uses powers to save his mother from being killed by the Reverse Flash, but this caused the timeline to splinter and the universe to change fundamentally. Superman never landed in Kansas. Thomas Wayne became Batman. The Atlanteans and the Amazonians are at war. One simple decision was all it took to change the course of history. and it became almost impossible to fix it. So, if Flash wanted to solo Goku, literally all he needs to do is give Majin Buu Ozempic, and suddenly Goku's pod fell into the sun.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I mean...
However, the Speed Force itself will ensure the Flash never goes too crazy. Again, the Speed Force is an extra-dimensional energy force home to an infinite reserve of speed. However, the Speed Force isn't simply inanimate, but potentially also alive. On several occasions, it's killed speedsters for breaking the rules, and on some occasions, it will send the Black Flash to do its dirty work. The Black Flash is pretty much death, or the closest thing to death that the Speed Force can conjure. A being of endless malice who will pursue and kill Flash when the Speed Force deems it necessary. And because it's summoned by the Speed Force, it can keep up with and surpass the speeds of every Flash variant. However, when the Flash chooses to work with the Speed Force, instead of pissing it off, they can tap into infinite reserves of energy to go infinitely fast, such as the story when Bart Allen absorbed the entire Speed Force in several universes to become the White Flash, and for a brief moment, he was faster than a Flash in the multiverse. However, the Speed Force does not simply span the entire multiverse, but is also above time and space. A Flash who can tap into it fully wouldn't have infinite speed or immeasurable speed, but outright irrelevant speed, surpassing the concept of time itself. Explain how Sid Kagano is supposed to beat this guy.
Should have taken the shot, fat ass.
But you know, since the Speed Force is beyond time, it's not remotely possible to surpass it. Right? Meet Wally West, the fastest, strongest, and most creative of all the Flashes. Wally by far has the most insane speed feats out of everyone in fiction, and has clearly showcased the ability to manipulate the Speed Force better than anyone else.
Tell me the truth, Ralph. Do I seem immature to you?
Not in the least.
Ah, I bopped your block off!
That's not fair. The green guy's arms are longer.
On 2 occasions, Wally outran the Black Flash, the literal concept of death, by running to the end of time where death no longer exists. He often throws down with Professor Zoom, whose powers allow him to exist outside our dimension and manipulate time. His signature move, the Infinite Mass Punch, works in relation to Einstein's law of relativity. By moving at or under the speed of light, Wally can alter the laws of physics and increase the mass of his punch, converting his energy into a punch with a mass matching a white dwarf star. A white dwarf star is around the size of Earth, but with the mass of the sun, meaning unless your favorite character has planetary to star level durability, they're cooked. And theoretically, Wally can increase his mass even more, since he's gone faster in light on many occasions. Speaking of which, Wally's most talked about feat was the time he outran instant teleportation while on the other side of the universe. He reached trans-time velocity and went faster than a Planck instant, which is the shortest measurement of time. However, a lot of people like to point out that this was only possible because Flash had absorbed the energy of every human on Earth running at the same time, and the energy of another speedster race. However, I like to point out that Wally could have done this without anyone's help. Think back to the Speed Force. It's an infinite reserve of speed that Wally could have tapped into, but it can also try to kill you when you abuse its powers. That's exactly what happened to Barry Allen when he recklessly used the Speed Force to stop the Anti-Monitor from destroying the multiverse. The only reason Wally needed everyone else's speed instead of achieving the feat on his own was because he was afraid the Speed Force would obliterate him like it did with Barry and Bart Allen before him. Imagine Flash tapping into this level of speed and combining it with his infinite mass punch, which will increase to immeasurable levels. He can already attack thousands of times per second. Imagine him punching billions of times per second, with each punch having infinite mass behind it. You'd be cooked.
Look, some people need to be gone, bro. You know what I'm talking about, in order for shit to get better. And he one of them.
Anyways, this isn't even the fastest Wally has gone in the comics. There was that one time Wally literally went faster than the entire Speed Force itself. He went faster than an energy force which contains infinite speed and is above time and space. The Flash already has irrelevant speed. I'm not exactly sure where I'd scale Wally at this point. He literally surpassed the concept of speed, which surpassed the concept of time. This isn't even getting to the concept of the stillness, which arguably surpasses the concept of the Speed Force, or the other forces, like the Strength Force. Theoretically, every Flash is capable of the same feats, since they all draw from the same power source. So basically, Bart Allen can solo most universes if he tapped into the Speed Force better. Anyways, you can take this video I made about Wolfgang and throw it into the trash, because Wally West takes the crown as the second fastest character in all of fiction, besides the cameraman.